Let's get to Constellation Energy here, finishing in the red after being up more than 9% at the highs of the day. The company is securing a 20-year agreement to supply Meta with 1.1 gigawatts of nuclear power starting in 2027. Names like Vistra, Talon Energy, NextEra also getting a boost from the news. For more on what this means for the nuclear energy landscape, let's bring in Keybanc Managing Director and Senior Analyst Sophie Karp. She has an overweight rating, a $337 price target on Constellation. Sophie, welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
It seems, at least to me, that maybe the deal is a little bit opaque in that we're not really sure if they're getting a premium in this deal in terms of price per megawatt hour from Meta.
Yeah, we don't know the details of the deal in terms of the price that's being paid, and I think that's becoming increasingly common for players in the power space to not disclose such details for competitive reasons. I do believe they're getting the premium versus the market price, considering that the press release states the Meta is paying for the environmental attributes, such as a zero-emission nuclear energy, and usually there wouldn't be any reason to really do a deal at without a premium, right? You can always hedge at the power curve if it wasn't the case. So we like the deal. I think what we've seen in the market really is a little bit of a profit taken. The deal was somewhat anticipated, another deal this year. So that's what we're seeing. I think just the fact that the deal came through pretty early in the year just reinforces the thesis that Constellation is really well positioned to monetize its fleet. It is unique. It's getting more valuable intrinsically by the day because it's getting more expensive to build new generation in this country. And we really like our thesis here. We think the Constellation will continue to do well.
Sophie, it's Tim. Thanks for joining us. DeepSeek really knocked a handful of the utility, the power utility, the energy data center plays. This may be more than any other than Vistra. But before all that, people, look, I'm long the stock and very excited about that Calpine deal. And again, you combine maybe the best nuclear play, at least in terms of scale. You combine the gas assets. I mean, talk about this as a utility. Leave all the AI hype aside and talk about this name from those perspectives.
Absolutely, right. And the demand for power is rising. Has been rising before the AI came to the scene, right? And DeepSeek really did not put any dent into the capex budgets for AI data centers as an aside, right? That we have seen so far, and the companies in our space has signaled no slowdown in demand on the inbound interests that they're seeing from large load customers. But the demand for power is definitely rising regardless. And the fact that Constellation has been able to assemble this portfolio of baseload assets, such as nuclear, and load following and peaking assets from Constellation that are positioned in growing markets, in attractive markets, that makes this company very valuable. And like I said, it's getting more and more difficult to build a new generation in this country. So whoever owns the existing portfolio of these assets, they're intrinsically increasing in value. Like it takes 7 years to get a gas turbine right now, right? You cannot just build a gas plant tomorrow. The repeal of the IRA that's kind of ongoing in Congress, that's going to make it more expensive to build renewable generation. That has been actually the majority of the additions recently. So as it becomes new nuclear, that's years away, right? Like SMRs, something like that. There's something is years away. Potentially, like we're looking at the next decade when those are going to be at scale. So in the meantime, there really is very limited new generation coming online. So when you see Constellation and they have this ability to do a little bit of upgrades, increase the capacity of the existing plants, they've assembled this great portfolio of assets that can address different pockets of market demand. They have a retail book to match that. This is a company that we like.